Hello and welcome to another episode of Cosmic Commentary, where we make football fun again. In episode 20 we talked about fake footballers, as well as the weekend and a bit of the midweek EPL action. We talked about Emery's sacking and whether or not Manchester United should follow suit, Arsenal's toxic fans, their rivalry with Tottenham, and when was the turning point for Arsenal and for Emery. Lastly, we reminisced on some of the biggest keeper calamities that we remember and discussed briefly when to sack the manager and plenty more. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. So I thought I'd start with a new format and actually introduce who's here today. So today I welcome obviously myself, Cos.
Hello. Yeah.
Welcome back, and Ozzie.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Ozzie, Ozguru Uzun.
Appreciate that pronunciation.
Special guest today.
Good,
but we move on from the special guest today. Welcome to the show. The first thing I want to talk about was headline. Lovely headline. Danish footballer. So let me get this straight, Cos. Just lay it out here.
Well, Danish club Viborg FF, right, football club.
Do we know which league they're playing?
The Danish league, isn't it?
But is it the first league?
It doesn't matter for these purposes.
Let's just say it is.
Absolutely no.
Let's just say it is. It'll make it funnier.
Well, Viborg, I know that
doubt it.
They may be in the first league. I don't know, but
keep going.
They have signed a Dutchman, right, claiming to be a professional footballer without ever seeing him play. And as it turned out, he was a fake footballer.
So that was the first red flag. They've never seen him play.
They've never seen him play.
Or had anyone see him play. None of their scouts.
Well, that's the thing, because they said that he had been playing for Chilean side Audax Italiano.
Wait, did they see a photo of this bloke, or did he just walk in shredded? Like?
So, my understanding...
I'm assuming that they did.
Well, he had agents.
He had agents, yeah.
So they're the people that...
apparently it's like a fake scam sort of thing where these agents are making
spoiler
money.
alert, the agents that work for him or he works for are getting sued by this club. That's the that's the punchline.
I just don't understand how you can sign someone without ever seeing him.
Well, but how do they sell it to the club?
They say this guy's coming in from Chile. So I imagine this is not a...
is he actually Chilean? Or did they lie about that?
He played for a Chilean... No, he didn't play for a Chilean club, but they said he did.
So he's a Dutchman, right?
He's a Dutchman that played... Alright.
He's
played
a
in the Chilean club.
No. He's a Dutchman. They said he played for the Chilean club, Audax Italiano, right?
Which he didn't.
Which they've said...
He definitely didn't.
They said he definitely didn't. They've told Viborg FC that he needs to go to China. He's moving to China to play there. And in the meantime, he needs somewhere to play, like on loan or something. So Viborg's like,
how did they fall for that banana in a tailpipe?
I don't know.
How does that work? Like, but how did they? I understand they said, all right, he played for this team. He's going to China now. This guy's a superstar. But if I was the club owner, I'd go, look,
we need to see him.
No, I'd want to know his skills. I'd go, is he a good midfielder? Is he a good distributor of the ball? Like, did they sell any of that?
Well,
or were they just like,
this guy's about awesome, when they saw him in training?
Well, they probably asked those questions, Oz, and
read the bit when the first time they saw him play.
Well, the first time they saw him training, they had to pull him off the field because of his lack of skills.
Read it as it was in the article. It was really well, just eloquently put. Sorry, it was well from what I remember. It was basically, they've never seen him play.
He was pulled from the field after his first training session due to the low level of his football skills, the club said in a statement. And they said there is a clear picture of a large scam that is likely to involve more people in several countries. So it's a serious issue, but...
I remember it being more vivid than that. I remember it being basically... they were stunned at the low level of his skills.
They were
But how much did they pay for this guy?
That's what I want to know.
Because if it was $20, they can't get upset by that.
Yeah, no, they can't.
Like, you get what you...
$100 even.
You supposedly paid for.
Like, $100 I'd be annoyed, but not suing.
But bro, it's a club. $10,000 would... Oh, wait.
Who knows?
What kind of club is this?
Okay, I think of it as... Let's just say it's Sandy, right? So, like a local club.
Oh, they'd be annoyed with $15.
Yeah.
Are you kidding? No, I'm kidding. No.
That's the way I think of it, right? Like the only way it could possibly make sense is a club. But even if you're a club, surely before you give anybody any money, you at least have him train once. Just once.
They signed this guy.
Even with under 12s, anything. Just see him kick a football.
They're like 10-year-olds. Oh, is he a good player? Oh, yeah, man, he's a great midfielder. He doesn't got all the tricks in the world. We're signing him.
And who are these agents?
Well, they're part of the scam.
Yeah, but
they're just making money.
Are they locals or something? Like,
no, I wouldn't think so.
Did they come from Mexico and say, okay, I trust these Mexicans?
No, this would probably, but this would be well planned.
Must be locals. No. I'm thinking the agents were local, right?
Uh-huh.
The whole scam thing is like worldwide. They've got this web, and they're these people.
Oh, so you think it's structured like that?
Well, because I can't imagine a foreigner having much credit with this coach. He'd be.
True.
If some person from another country
so
comes to you and says, "Hey, I've got this really good footballer," you want to see something, right? But they're like, "Oh no, okay, it's a good resume. Oh, this was fantastic. All right, let's sign him up. Let's go. $20,000. Let's go."
I think when it gets to that kind of level, clubs
whatever level this is,
clubs just think no one would ever screw us over to this extent. I think that's what it is. It's just there's just some sort of weird moral code where it gets to that kind of professional team, and they just think no one's gonna do this kind of crap. Whereas if it's a local club, right? You were talking about the local club thing. If some guy was like, when I was younger, I used to play in the NSL, blah blah blah. Now I'm 34, I'm a bit washed up, but I can play at this level. They'd still be like, we have to see you at training.
Yeah,
we have to see you kick the ball. We can't just sign you up, mate. Like, it doesn't work that way. Whereas.
Good.
Just to confirm, they're not in the top division.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know where they are though, but they're not in the top division.
They should be relegated from wherever they are, because that kind of decision making is just ridiculous.
And I can tell you, as someone who works in the legal field, going to court, you never win. In terms of money, you never win. It's always for your pride. That's all. So
no one ever wins.
Look. When you win, you still pay more than what you.
How about those people get millions of dollars in a court case?
Well, okay.
You're sort of straying off a bit.
There's those scenarios, but in this scenario, there's no way they'd be getting more money.
But if they're suing,
they're just wasting time and money, right?
Or if they can settle it, sure. But if it goes to court, they've lost more money than they're going to get.
So they're looking to settlement.
So it'll cost $10,000.
What was the follow-up though? When they saw they took this guy off the field. Did they
off the training pitch?
Wait, all right, off the training pitch. Did they say, "Oh, maybe this guy's off day," or did they just know right away this guy was trash immediately?
That's what.
I can just imagine like the coach is just smiling as the ball comes to him, and his first touch just goes 10 meters in front of his foot, and there's just a drop on their faces.
Got the touch of Jeffrey Dahmer, just goes 20 meters ahead.
Because the way I remember the article, and I might have just played this in my head. It was basically he came onto the pitch. And they were sort of a bit confused at start, thinking, okay, this is a bit off. And then after 20 minutes or so, it just became blatantly obvious this guy has basically never played professional football in his life.
Did they make up his name and everything else? Or just where he played?
Just to add to all those things, they said it's also not good news for him because now like he's got like a criminal
record. He assaulted his girlfriend or something.
What?
That's what true. It says
he assaulted his girlfriend after he didn't get accepted by a professional team.
Yeah, What?
Yeah. There was which is probably not, making matters worse for Verhagen. That's his surname. He has been arrested on suspicion of assaulting his girlfriend, robbery, and threatening witnesses. A local prosecutor says.
Wow, they got really bad judge of character. So they got so they paid for a non-professional footballer. That is a criminal.
They paid for a guy.
They paid for a criminal.
Basically,
they paid for a homeless criminal.
They found a guy off the streets, and posed him as a footballer.
Word on the street was he was a good player. That's good enough reason.
What were the agents' fees?
Well, we don't know, but that's the whole.
You know what's funny, Michael? Like these guys, this is a professional team.
It's word on the street, wasn't it?
Bro, we play futsal together. If you came to me and you said, "I've got this mate, he's really good." Even though I've known you for, 10 plus years, however long we've been friends, I'd still be like, bro, I've got to see this guy play.
And that's the play of futsal, where we pay to play.
Yeah, we pay to play. We're all bums, like
local
trash.
competition.
we turn like steam trains. It's a horror show. But I still want to know how good this random guy is.
Well, it's more like,
and we're not even paying for him.
Yeah, you want to know how frustrated you're going to be on the day. You know, you're like, what can I expect from this person? Should I expect to win, or just say, okay, let's just have fun?
What was the name of this team?
Was it Viborg?
Viborg or Viborg.
Viborg.
Well, what's their logo look like?
I don't know, but I'm sure they would hire you in a
They
flash.
probably went on Fiverr.com for their logo design as well.
Yeah, it looks like it's got stripes. But moving on from Viborg, the Danish club.
I could play for them.
Not anymore. They're on high alert now.
They're not falling for that again.
All right, moving on. I think it's fair to just go straight to the.
It's like Panathinaikos.
Yeah, it kind of does look like the Panathinaikos.
Moving on to the. We'll go straight into the Premier League because it's a bit of a crowded period now. I think most leagues have midweek fixtures, including the Premier League, who had the weekend's action had City drop points again to Newcastle, despite De Bruyne's fantastic goal.
Oh, that was an insane goal.
Chest it down.
I saw that. That was ridiculous. I reckon that was better than
absolutely
James Rodriguez's goal in not the last World Cup, but the one before.
Yeah, we all remember.
Did you
that
see Rodri's goal in the midweek game? So Man City played again midweek, and they actually won that game convincingly against Burnley. Rodri scored a.
Oh, he drilled it.
Yeah,
but it just went through the keeper, like underneath his armpits.
But like the power, like I don't know if you might have not have seen it, but it was he had the underspin.
Oh, I like that.
The underspin.
I like the sound
and
of
it
that
just when you get that underspin.
Oh wait, was this for City?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that goal.
And it hit
No, sorry, I was thinking of I thought you were talking about Burnley's goal.
Burnley? No, not Burnley's goal. I didn't see that goal.
But I know the goal you're talking about.
Yeah,
I'm like, man, there was so much power in that shot. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, he just...
You can't even fault the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper was there. He got a hand to it.
He was right next to it.
But
basically, it was basically next to the keeper. But he couldn't do anything.
Carlos his jaw would have dropped after that shot.
if it was still attached. No, that was quite something. So, despite all this stuff, they still couldn't keep a clean sheet. But now they're 11 points. Well, technically it's 8 points clear until Liverpool play tomorrow morning in our time. By the time you've heard this game will have been finished. Most people are expecting Liverpool to win that game, but crazier things have happened. I think people are still riding off
the derby's never certain.
Yeah, the derby is
Everton. They always challenge.
Certain. It's the same. It's like the Manchester United game. Everyone was expecting that to be a walkover, which was ridiculous, especially with Manchester United doing respectably at the very least at home, being very hard to beat. But anyway, enough on that. Obviously, Liverpool won their game despite Alisson getting sent off.
He took one for the team. 75th. He took one for the team, man. Like, and you need that during the season. You know, like you have these pinnacle moments in the season where certain things happen. I think Alisson just took one for the team. He had to do that. Like,
so for those who don't know what we're talking about, Alisson went into no man's land. He was outside the box,
completely out of position.
He basically got chipped, and he stuck his hand out to stop the ball. I still don't know if he was trying to get his hand out of the way or not, because he was trying to make himself big, and then he sort of he was caught in two minds. Do I let it go? Do I stop it?
If he let that go,
he was outside the box.
If he let that go, that would have been a goal.
It was a goal, 100%. It was a goal
because it was like a flick header just before it got to Alisson, and he sort of thought he could get there, but then he couldn't, and then he just made.
He did have that moment where he did a double take before he got out into no man's land, but as soon as he was well aware and outside the box, he thought
he had to make a decision.
It's done. I'm getting a hand to this outside the box,
and he made his own, or he basically made the mistake himself. He was backtracking into the box, which is not where you want to be as a keeper. I don't know.
No, you never want
to
be running backwards as a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
If you're in a position where you're running backwards to get back into your box, you're basically gone. So anyway, he got sent off to stop it, but he stopped the goal only to concede the goal straight away.
Well, that was Adrian.
Can
you talk me through that free kick?
Right.
I still don't get how that.
So did you see that, Ozzie? The goal that
he just passed it into the corner.
Basically.
They were setting up the wall, and he flicked it.
Well, the referee blew the whistle before the keeper was ready, and then
did he ask for the wall to be set back? Is that the rule? Like, where you ask?
All right, so normally, you've got the option of taking the quick free kick.
Yeah, like where everyone's just standing where they want.
Yeah.
But if you want that distance, the 10 yards,
someone can stand right in front of you.
Then you've got to wait for the referee's whistle at that stage.
So some people are having a go at the ref, some people are having a go at I don't know who else they want to have a go at, but to me, I'm having a go at the defenders because they're taking ages. I counted the time. When Adrian gets to his near post and he starts organising the wall, 30 seconds elapsed before the referee blows his whistle. That is more than enough time.
So the ref did nothing.
So they had 30 seconds to sort themselves out.
30 seconds once the keeper was there. So they had heaps of time. They were setting up the wall before he got there.
So they had time even before that to sort of...
And they were just dawdling around there. I don't know what the heck they were looking at each other. And yes, and then the referee blows his whistle. Adrian's at his near post.
Still barking at his instructions of the wall.
And then he sort of starts walking towards, where he's supposed to be.
Who's Adrian? Is he a proper goalkeeper?
He's a good
Adrian.
He's an actual goalkeeper.
Spanish, yeah.
I saw him fumble the ball like he just had a bowl of popcorn.
So
So just butterfingers.
To give context to that, it was a very cold night. He wasn't expecting
a very cold night in Stoke.
Yeah, cold night. It wasn't Anfield, was it? Yeah, cold night in Stoke.
Who did they play?
It was Brighton.
Okay.
But yes, it was a cold night, and he basically wasn't ready. And so when he came out there, he was
put him in the sauna.
There wasn't enough time. I was upset. It was like 15 minutes.
They should have a fireplace to go.
He was thinking about the fireplace already. He was at home and he was like, "All right, what am I going to do tonight?" And then,
How does that work with the people on the bench though? Because there's so many people just sitting on the bench. Do they just always get ready for the worst, or are they just so used to?
They're supposed to be.
Are they just so used to not coming on, just sitting there?
Well, it's
ornaments.
It's a bit different for the on-field players because they keep doing their warm-ups down the side and stuff like that. Keeper doesn't do that. Keeper just sits there because he's not expecting to be used. And then in that situation, they don't
do that thing where they're kicking it at the keeper and he's diving left and right, catching the ball, kind of.
Well, not kind of during the game, because how players
on the side
run the sidelines. No, they don't do that on the side. There's not enough space. Because can you imagine?
So you're saying if he did do that on the side, I'm not saying they do, but if he did, he wouldn't have had the.
Or he would have been in better shape, definitely. Okay. Yeah,
he didn't look like a legit goalkeeper. Just the way
he didn't look ready.
Yeah,
but maybe that's something they should change. Like when the players warm up, the keeper should just warm up with them.
But
on the off chance they're needed.
But they don't have space.
But just to run around and just to get your
run around,
get your
right?
muscles moving.
Get the fingers. True.
The juices
I don't know. Like I can't just judge him like that. But I've seen worse goalkeepers come on and look like goalkeepers when they come on, even if they're really bad. Calario is hilarious. When he used to come on, he was like third choice goalkeeper for Chelsea years ago. He'd come on and people would just laugh because he'd make this extravagant dive to the left when it was just something that was like the slowest shot in the world. I could just trap the ball and it would be a save, but he was ridiculous, right?
Theatrics.
But he looked like a goalkeeper. When this guy came on, he did not look like a goalkeeper to me. He just looked like an outfield player.
So, for those who aren't aware, Adrian obviously had to keep for most of the season so far because Alisson has been injured. He'll be keeping again next game in the derby against Everton because Alisson will be suspended for that game.
He's been serviceable, Adrian. He hasn't been bad.
And he hasn't been bad. Well, people have said, not many people have said anything about Adrian, and that's exactly what we want to hear as a keeper. When no one's talking about the keeper.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially when Alisson's the one being replaced, then he's done all right.
Yeah,
but
that's fair.
He clearly wasn't ready for this one. But you're right about that, Ozzie. I find that sometimes the second keeper or the third keeper, they're so ready, right? Because they're just sitting on the bench the whole time. No one sees them play ever, and they're thinking every moment, I just want to show what I can do. And then the time comes, bam, yeah, I'm ready to go. Adrian, I feel like because he filled in for him for the first 10 games or whatever it was. He was just all right, it's all good. I've done my bit, I've showed what I can do, people are happy, it's all good. And I'm needed. Really? Again? Can't you just play? God damn. What do you... like I said, he thought he'd already done his bit. He wasn't expecting to get called into it again.
Well, he was too relaxed.
Yeah, too relaxed.
And, you can be too motivated or too too much adrenaline pumping through the veins, and you can just go the other way. Just be too relaxed.
But I'll tell you who's not relaxed.
Who's not relaxed, Mike?
Liverpool fans, right?
They're not relaxed.
There's a lot. Everyone but Liverpool fans are basically saying the title race is over. Liverpool's.
But it is.
Coming.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap. Unless you don't have Steven Gerrard to slip, you don't have. You don't have any goalkeepers parrying it in. You know what I mean? Like, you've weeded out. Look, I can't say that with Gerrard. He's an amazing player. Look, no disrespect. I'm just trying to be funny.
Yeah, no.
But you got rid of Karius, all right? He was a good recipe for success because the manner in which you guys lost in the Champions League final and then came back and beat Barcelona with a 3-goal deficit and won the final after losing in such devastating fashion in last year's final just proves how good a team you are, because that could demoralise any team, especially psychologically.
Well, I think that's probably what motivated them to spend so much money on Alisson.
Yeah, they just spent, let's just spend like all our money on the fucking goalkeeper.
Well, rumour had it at the time they were like, we might keep him, and then that happened. They're like, all right, we're definitely buying Alisson. They're like, whatever it takes. So
they were a bit adamant. They go, let's not spend too much money on the and then as soon as he punched it in, they go, there's no,
it's a loss.
There's priceless.
No,
there's no money. There's no amount of money that cannot be spent on the goal.
I think they were looking at Alisson and saying, look, if they try and hold us for ransom, we're not going to give in. But then, like, okay, whatever they ask for, just give it to them. Okay,
we can't spend all our money on a goalkeeper. Wait, did he just punch it? How much money do we have now? Use it all.
Well, what's our transfer budget?
That's a horrible accent.
Well, what's our transfer budget for next season? Yeah, that's how much we can spend.
I'll tell you, Roma loved that transfer, I'll tell you.
Wait, after the first or second goal, was it the one where he kicked it into Benzema's foot? There was that. No, he threw it. He threw it into Benzema's foot.
So when he threw it into Benzema's foot, they were saying, all right, okay, we might need a new keeper for next season. And for the second one, like, whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
Yeah, okay.
Break the bank.
I do feel sorry for Karius, but he is he is overconfident. He thinks more of his abilities than.
So what do you feel sorry for him?
Because for that reason,
so it's pity.
It's not so much pity. It's just like it's not healthy to think so much of yourself, and then he's not going to.
Was he up himself?
Well, no, he backs himself, which is fine, right?
What did he say?
No, well, he says I am the still the best keeper. Like
what do you mean after what he did?
He actually thought that they were going to hold on to him, and he was.
What after the final?
Yeah. Like he was. It's like. Do you remember Zelko Kalat?
Yeah, of course I do.
Of course you did.
That's the only. By the way, that's the only thing I remember Zelko for. No disrespect. That's the only thing that pops in my mind is him diving like this weird, gangly sort of dive to the left, and he just it's sort of spinning over his gigantic body.
Himself. He basically he
punched it into the ground and
the ball just rolls in.
He punched it so hard on the side of the ball it just flicked over him. That's all I remember is that weird goal.
Zelko Kalac made a horror mistake in Australia's World Cup. Fortunately, it didn't cost him. They got through the next round, but he was confident he was going to play the next game.
That was the skin. That was a skin flint they got through.
But only thanks to the referee. Because the referee was...
the referee was horrible. Terrible. They actually won that game 3-2 because he didn't blow the whistle, and Aloisi scored in the last 2 minutes of the game. And then he was like, "Oh no, I blew the whistle." Just
like half a second before.
But he never refereed.
And
after
they should have
that.
had 2 more penalties. But moving on from Australia's failed 2006. Although it was their most successful World Cup campaign
But going back on what you were saying, I remember Zelko for that. No disrespect, sorry, bro. I remember you tripping over. That's it. And then I really remember Karius punching it and kicking it into his own net. Basically,
that is their legacy.
I'm sorry, that's your legacy. Because you haven't done anything else. You can't back yourself after you've done that. You've got to be on humble street and work your way back up.
He was concussed, and but still, that wasn't the first thing he did. So,
he got kicked.
He got elbowed in the head.
Oh, okay.
By Ram. It was like a solid elbow.
And that's the debate. How badly he was concussed.
He was definitely concussed. It's just that they didn't confirm it which happens. They didn't confirm until a week later. But
A week later.
yeah, no,
because you need to be you need to be
that's-
taken off and tested and all
Yeah,
that sort of
yeah.
thing, and it's not practical in soccer.
and
but-
they didn't.
He could have died after the game.
Yeah,
Yeah, pretty much.
pretty much.
Don't they tell you not to go to sleep like when you concuss?
Well, they
Yeah.
don't have good protocols, and I think they got more protocols in now.
He's
because
probably
of
got
that.
brain damage right now.
So moving on to another team that bought a high-profile keeper for, at the time, a record fee, David De Gea, Manchester United. A bit of a segue there.
Yep.
Now that I've got you here, Oz,
What's going
you're
on?
the first Manchester United supporter to be on the show.
I'm happy to be here.
So, no, don't worry. This isn't a dissing session. I wanted to get your opinion because lately we've had these huge managerial things, right? Like, obviously, Pochettino got sacked.
Emery's gone.
And Emery's now gone.
Yeah.
Well predicted, Cos. And now, what's his name? From Watford is gone as well.
Sanchez, some Flores, Quique,
Yeah,
the ex-boyfriend of the
the
of Watford.
the ex-manager from Watford is now the ex-manager again.
Yeah.
And
Might be back in a couple
I
of
really
weeks,
don't
I
want to
know.
disrespect, but his name is it's sort of confusing. It's like 3 different names. It's one of those Spanish ones that doesn't get
It's
shortened.
Quique anyway.
Anyway, he's gone again from Watford. Manchester United have held on. Right? What's your opinion on Ole? Ole at the wheel. Like, do they hold on to him? How long do they hold on to him? What do you want from him? If they don't have him, who do they take? Where are we going with? Like, how do you feel?
Look, I'm
about the
in terms of IQ when it comes to football. I'm not like I don't know what the hell's going on. I'll be honest, but statistically, I know a lot. Like I'm basically encyclopedia for World Cup trivia. If you really want to ask me, but I don't know. On this situation, I think you need to give him time. Like it can't get worse than this.
It can't or it can.
No, it can't. It can't get any. And if it does, who cares, man? Like they haven't won anything the last 2 or 3 years. How long has it been? It's been a while, hasn't it?
Since the Fergie era.
Did Jose?
Jose.
Oh,
he
sorry,
didn't-
in his
Europa
second-
League.
In his second last season, was that when they came second?
No, they won the Europa League and they came second
so-
in the
yeah,
Premier
So
League.
that
was like 3 or 4 years ago.
to go through Jose's seasons. The first season, I don't think they won anything. They finished like I don't know. It was disappointing. Then the second season, they came second.
Yeah.
And then they won the Europa League. Yeah, because they didn't have any Europe in that first season, I don't think.
Yeah, that's right.
But they made...
But they won the Europa League, which was good.
And they finished like 5th, I think it was, under Jose.
Yeah,
Anyway, yeah. But then they obviously had that good season the second season, technically.
Yeah.
They won the League Cup, I think, somewhere. But then that third season, was that the one where it started to go... Where he got sacked?
Yeah, I mean, it went iffy. The thing is, you've got to give managers a solid 2 or 3 years to figure out and to implement their own style. With Pep Guardiola, he's an amazing coach, but obviously he got a lot of money to get all the players that he wanted for his particular style. Ole hasn't had that. He's just been given these players and he's trying to figure out what he needs to do, and he needs to have his own philosophy, and he needs to just needs to get that drive that they used to have. Like a decade ago, I remember Old Trafford was a place to be reckoned with. People were scared to go to Old Trafford. Now anyone can win at Old Trafford. No one cares, and it seems like the players aren't putting... they're probably putting the hard yards, but it just seems like they don't have the same kind of passion they used to.
Well,
That's fair.
statistically, Old Trafford has actually been obviously not what it was before, but it has been hard to go to in the last, or since Moyes left, basically, because that was a design.
Oh, okay. Well, that's when I stopped watching. I stopped
Well,
watching when
they
Moyes came in.
Just a record, because me and Cos were doing hardcore stats back then. Home Manchester United would lose to away Manchester United in that season. That's how bad they were at home, because at home they were worse than they were on the road, because I don't know, I think the fans were turning on them. There might have been a bit of entitlement left over from the Alex Ferguson era. They were expecting much, much better, and then they didn't get what they wanted. And remember, Liverpool had when they played at Old Trafford that season.
Yeah, that was Rodgers' season.
The
Liverpool
odds were just
challenging.
fantastic. Liverpool were $3 to win, yet it was really very, very obvious that they were going to win that game, and they won 3-0. They won at a canter, and they missed a penalty, so it should have been 4-0 really. Since then, they've actually been very solid at home. I don't think Liverpool has won their for.
Well, they haven't won.
Klopp hasn't won there.
Klopp hasn't won there, and yeah. But
That
United do have a very young team now, especially up front. They've got like Rashford and someone else.
See, that's the other issue. I think there's
They're
a
very
certain
young.
recipe for success. I think one of them is patience. Number 2 is to have some experience on the team. And number 3 is just to have absolute troopers, guys who will just throw their life on the line on the pitch. For back in the day we had Vidic, we had Ferdinand. Yeah, guys who are just willing to die on the pitch. You had Patrick Vieira back in the day. And for Liverpool, you have that now. You've got Milner, who's just ready to go in. Henderson, he's not the oldest guy on the pitch, but he's a trooper, man. He's everywhere.
Puts in.
He's a captain,
he puts in, man. You know. And then you got the younger guys that are just zipping around and that are getting,
but they've got quality, Liverpool. That's the thing.
Yeah, and obviously quality as well. But I think United has quality. They just don't have that recipe for success.
What do you think of the signings that have been made this season? There's, 3, I think? Maguire, the young one, James. Was it James? From the Welsh, the little...
Oh, yeah, James, yeah.
Yeah, James. And...
Wan-Bissaka,
that was the third one. So what do you think of those?
They're solid at the back. United are solid at the back, but going forward in the midfield and they're...
Obviously, they also lost Sanchez and Lukaku.
Pogba's
And Pogba hasn't played all
injured,
season.
but now there's rumours that he may not be injured. He just wants to leave. And
I mean, that
there's
all
rumours,
aside.
but
all aside.
Yeah.
I mean,
we need Pogba. You need that creative flair in the midfield. And people keep forgetting Pogba's passing is incredible. I reckon he's almost as good as Paul Scholes in terms of his... And Beckham in terms of his long balls and his short passes and long passes. Yeah.
his passing is very good, yeah.
I was about to spark the best English midfielder debate, but that's definitely not for today. We're not going to go there because I don't.
That is
even
one
know.
special episode. That one.
What, best in the Premier League?
You know the old Lampard, Scholes, Gerrard debate.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
but we won't go there because I don't actually know what to go with it. I am not well enough informed because I haven't seen enough Scholes. I know which one out of Gerrard and Lampard is better, but I can't comment on Scholes because he was just, his prime was a bit further back.
Well, they're all kind of different players as well.
Yeah, they're very different.
But like I said, we're not actually going to go there. Yeah. So the reason I bring up Manchester United, right, is because, the situation with Pochettino and now with Arsenal, Unai Emery. So obviously the Arsenal fans have turned on Emery very quickly. So people...
This was his second season, just to...
Yeah,
that is not a lot of time.
A season and 13 games in.
That's not a lot of time.
Plus all the Champions League games and stuff like that. But, Europa League games. I actually didn't mean that as an insult, my bad. But, yeah, so he didn't have that much time to settle in, right? People were... They had an improvement last season. Okay, that's straight out. The season before they were 6th and they were going down. They were gonna keep progressing down under Wenger. They kept sort of hitting the same level while the rest of the league was getting up.
That's right.
And so they didn't actually do worse. It's just that they weren't keeping up with inflation, basically. And the next season when Emery came in, he brought them up to 5th, a whisker away from being 4th. And had they won on the last day, they should have been 4th. And a lot of the fans held that against Emery, saying that, they forgot about the fact that he got them into that position. They're just cringy about the fact that they didn't get that.
Yeah,
top 4
no
spot.
disrespect to every Arsenal fan, but a lot of them, well, not a lot of them, but what I've seen is they're really toxic and they're really negative, just like the Real Madrid fans. They're not. It's like,
well, they're not Real Madrid.
Look, I'm a United supporter, but I'm a United supporter. But man, Liverpool have been through a lot of crap, and they've been so optimistic throughout the years.
That's
like
a
the
really
last
good
decade,
point. A really good point.
You've never seen them turn on their team. Obviously they'd be upset or disappointed, but for the most part, they're just there to support.
Not to the level of Arsenal.
Except for Hodgson, but that was extreme.
Well, I mean, I'd be annoyed with him.
Yeah, that was like Moyes. That's comparable. Like Hodgson and Moyes were very similar.
I think Hodgson is almost the same level as that banana in the tailpipe with the Danish team. Someone lied about Hodgson, this guy's really good, blah blah blah. You should get him in.
To be
and
fair,
then he was pure trash.
He was really good with really bad teams. Like that, he got Fulham to
no, but he wasn't good enough for a good team.
Bro,
Like
I could be really good with really bad teams. Oh yeah, when he threw caution to the wind against Northampton in there, I will do the same thing because I don't know how to manage.
I'll step in for Hodgson just because as terrible as he was for Liverpool, his history, right? He wasn't good for bad teams. He was excellent for bad teams.
He had the best tactics for trash teams,
exactly,
that weren't technically gifted.
Because part of that thing was lowering expectations. And you can't do that at a big club. You just can't do it.
When you're at Liverpool and you're saying how good Sir Alex is and I love him and he's the best manager, that's going to really win over the fans.
I don't want to get on his bad side or something.
Yeah, because I don't want to play his mind games and stuff. He's a very top manager. Bro,
absolutely fired him on the spot.
And especially in a team with Steven Gerrard and Jamie Carragher in it, if you start saying, look, if we get a draw here, it's a miracle or something. He said something about they won, I think, one away game under his tenure against Bolton, and he called it like the miracle of I don't know what it was. And it was incredible. He's incredible. He got Fulham to the Europa League final.
He did, yeah. I remember
that's
that.
insane. Like,
yeah, he's good for bad teams.
That should never happen.
All right, good on him, but I never want to see him again.
Yeah. No, well, he's at Crystal Palace. He's at Crystal Palace.
Oh, cool.
The team that beat a team that beat Manchester United at Manchester United. Liverpool couldn't do that. So
but they don't need to do that. It's fine.
No, but you know what I'm saying. Like Crystal Palace is not, a top. They
got Zaha, don't they?
Well, they do. He's their star player.
Yeah,
Zaha.
He's still there. But he didn't play in that game. I don't think he was still injured. But Crystal Palace is a team that is happy to be in the top half, right? That's perfect for Hodgson, because he manages, the expectations and things like that. And against the big teams, they can pull on performances and stuff like that. And they did another one this morning, beating Bournemouth after being a man down.
For most of the game.
Minutes?
Yeah,
they beat Bournemouth.
Yeah, so it was a 1-0 in the end.
But for most of the game, they were playing with
they lost Sarko really early, as in like the defender who played for Liverpool, Mamadou Sakho.
Oh, I remember him. Yeah.
Yeah. So he and he's a big defender for them.
Yeah.
They lost him in 19 minutes in, and they won 1-0. Like they scored in the 84th minute or something like that. So
they were player down.
Yeah, player down whole game. They won. And it was at home, but still, it's always tough. And
mighty effort.
Yeah, great effort. So saying all those things, Emery. Being sacked, right? What you were saying about entitlement, I've been saying the same thing for a while. Arsenal fans, I believe it started when basically Arsenal paid off their stadium, and they bought Sanchez in, and they started to win FA Cups again, but they weren't getting any progress in the league.
FA Cups,
yeah, but they're good at that. They're the best team in England actually for FA Cups. Really close with United. But they didn't make progress in the league, right? And they started dropping. But what the straw that broke the camel's back was Pochettino. He came in, and Tottenham started finishing above Arsenal because for all the years that Arsene Wenger was manager of Arsenal, every year he always finished above Tottenham, and that was the thing that he could all the Arsenal fans. That sort of kept them in check. They're like, yeah, look.
Man, they really hate Tottenham.
Yeah, they do.
I remember seeing because my favourite player of all time is Thierry Henry. I remember seeing one of his docos in an interview with him. He was just going on about, he's like, I love everything I did in my career, but the one thing that is the best is I never lost to Tottenham. That's what he prided him. He prides himself on his never losing to Tottenham when he played. I'm like, you're crazy, bro.
He scored.
What are you talking about? That flick against United? That was an amazing goal.
No.
How do you not? Oh man,
we didn't lose to Tottenham.
That's how much they hate him.
So the straw that broke the camel's back for me, I think, was when Tottenham started finishing above Arsenal, and the fans said, "Wait, no, okay, look, I could take everything. I could take missing out in the top four. I could take getting smashed by Bayern 5-1 every time we played them, getting knocked out of the round of 16 for 6 seasons in a row, but falling below Tottenham." No, like it happened once, and then when it happened again, they're just like nuts.
Well, Tottenham did make the final of the Champions League as well recently. So.
But that was after. That was well after.
It doesn't matter.
No, well, Tottenham's a good team. That's the thing.
Yeah.
But Arsenal fans don't care.
They just want to finish
Tottenham is the team in there forever in the
There's
shadow.
too many toxic fans.
I think, but deep down, I think they know that Tottenham's a much better. Well, they're a very well-run club, and they know that they should be where Tottenham is.
Yeah,
because they finished their stadium a lot sooner than Tottenham. That's a huge thing. They should be like years
this is
ahead.
a direct quote from a fan.
Yeah, on Arsenal fan
I
TV.
just think they're better.
No, they are.
I think Tottenham's just better.
They are.
Well, Tottenham is better
Clearly,
now,
right,
yeah,
at the moment. Yeah,
now they've got Mourinho as well. One theory was also,
but it is logical though. You make a good point. After they finished their stadium, they were expecting signings to come in. And just the general performance to improve.
But that's not
and
Emery's fault.
No, it's not. But it hasn't happened. But that's not Emery's fault at all.
But the rage just sort of like followed on from that.
Well, they're so angry they don't know where to direct it now. It's just gone.
They've just got.
They've gone bananas.
And I don't think the next manager's going to be around for long. I don't know who it's going to be.
Well, Freddie Ljungberg's in charge at the moment. I don't expect him to be there for a long time.
Hopefully, he's as good at managing as he is at being a model. But
look, it's all right. Thierry Henry's going to hit the gym. He's coming back.
Thierry Henry.
He's going to save the day.
It's not.
Even though he's 58, he's coming back to save the day.
Well, apparently,
to play.
yeah, man. He's
I thought you meant to manage.
No, he's coming back to play. It was written in the script. Thierry Henry delivered his lines to perfection.
Oh, that was still a brilliant thing. But I feel like Arsenal's going to do what Man United has been doing for the last, since Ferguson left. You know, they've been trying to find themselves again. The fans were toxic for a little bit after
the United fans.
Yeah,
they are.
But I think they've improved. And like you say, what you said, the sentiment, the saying, you got to give Ole time. That's going through.
They gave Ferguson 4 years before he won.
Yeah,
that was a different time, but yeah, it took him 7 years to win, I think.
And
he was almost sacked a few times in his early years.
He's the exception to the rule because he gets the best out of just players that aren't even good enough for United. No disrespect. John O'Shea should have never played for United, but he just made him be good enough somehow. Same with Michael Carrick.
Yeah, Michael Carrick.
There's so many
Fletcher.
players I can name. Fletcher. There were just tons of players where you just look at them, I'm like thinking, really? They play for United? But they performed every week. He just got the best.
The less good Neville.
And even the ones that weren't up to the grade, he'd make sure that they'd have a career afterwards. Like Ben Foster, he was playing at Burnley or something like that.
No one
they had
mentions
so many
that.
keepers.
That's very important.
In between their top keepers. So after Van der Sar, there was a bit of a gap before they found De Gea. They had Kuszczak, they had Foster, I think they had another one as well.
Romero?
Possibly, but I don't think he was ever, because he was a bit older. But Kuszczak, when he was there, and Foster, they were young keepers at the time, and they were sort of potential. And then De Gea came in. De Gea had a tough start. Kuszczak played for a few games in between while De Gea was finding his feet, and then
you're going to think I'm crazy. What I really want to happen is United to get relegated. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm actually serious. I want them to get relegated as a fan because then I can religiously watch the Championship because it's such an exciting league, and they could win, they could get promoted, and then all the toxic fans would just leave. They go to another club because there were never United supporters in the first place.
Yeah,
so it's like a triple win.
Yeah. But I think the fans have actually done quite well now because, like I said, they want to give him time. And that's in great contrast to the Arsenal, where it's just it is so toxic right now. No player is good enough. No manager is good enough. The owners, when people jump at the owners,
the things they were saying to Xhaka about his kids and threatening him.
It's disgusting.
It's just not on, man. You can't do that. At the end of the day, it is just a game. You got to relax.
Well, the footballers have lives, man. They're not just robots on the field doing what you want to do.
That's their livelihood. They've trained their whole lives to be there. You've been drinking your whole life to watch the game. Don't give him crap. And they shouldn't make sizes of those shirts for those fat guys that go in. Yeah. And they got the quadruple X size for a bloke in a football shirt. That's triple X. You can't make it in that size. You got to be fit enough to wear it, I reckon.
Yeah, I'll make one exception.
I think get ice hockey jerseys for those. Just specially made ice hockey jerseys.
Just super baggy.
I've got one exception for where it's acceptable, where on cold days, you want them to see your colours, and you wear it over your jacket. Like that's the only reason.
Have a jumper version.
Yeah, so that's the only reason a shirt that
a
size.
Soccer jersey is made to wear and go out on the pitch. I don't know. I'm just talking crap. We'll move on from that.
So moving on from there. So Arsenal this week, they drew with Norwich 2-2.
2-2, yeah.
Sorry, I shouldn't laugh.
So
they are funny.
Great comeback for them. I'm not sure if they were home or away. The same problems arose. They're missing.
I don't know how much.
Norwich is coming back. We have to say that.
No, but I don't know how much credit you can give to all these teams. It's like, oh, great comeback. It's all against Arsenal. Like, who's the common denominator in all these games?
He's Arsenal.
That's
it's Arsenal just crap.
Arsenal have made some comebacks this season too. So
oh, look at this comeback.
Where would they
every
be?
Time it's against
in all seriousness, where would Arsenal be without Aubameyang?
They have him though. So
they have him, but
because then they have Lacazette playing more games.
They'd be playing in the Scottish League.
No,
seriously.
Arsenal have actually done, I think, quite okay this season until the fans really just went into meltdown. What was it, like 3-4 game weeks ago, where they just said, "Oh, nothing's good enough." Blah 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 blah. This. Emery just lost the plot. He started actually. I can't believe that he stripped Xhaka of the captaincy. That was incredible to me.
Yeah, he did lose the plot.
But
he did.
He had to do it.
No, he didn't, because he could have just said, "Look, he's the captain. Like he's
no." But I don't think it was personal. He didn't back him.
Well, he dropped him and then didn't play him. Like he basically said, "Okay."
I thought it was just to sort of cool the fans down. I didn't think it was personal to Xhaka.
Well, he stopped playing him. Instead of defending him. Because people were saying, he has to apologise to the fans for what he did. That was things get out of hand. I can't understand how someone can just so blatantly. I mean, he was picked by the players to be the captain, right? So he didn't. You know what I mean? Like he had the respect of the players around him. They wanted him as captain, and then to just go like that, drop him. And then, because maybe he wasn't in any state to play, I don't know. He just didn't want to play for them anymore because he just had it with the fans. I don't know, but it was Emery was just giving into whatever the people wanted, and that was happening too much. He was changing his tactics because people were having a go at his tactics and stuff like that. It was, you know what I mean.
He wasn't confident in his own ability.
Yeah,
and he was being peer
he
pressured.
Lost confidence because he was confident originally, and then he stopped being confident, and then he stopped. It just what happened, and it was really untenable. Sort of.
All right, so here's my question to you guys: if you put Pep Guardiola or Klopp at Arsenal, without the budget that they've had, at their respective clubs,
so basically Arsenal's budget,
just basically what's going on at Arsenal. If you just plopped Klopp in there or Pep. What do you guys think would happen?
Well, this is actually very comparable to Liverpool when Klopp came to Liverpool. So I think he would get them in a better position next season. Get a better he'd slowly progress and get them up to the right level. And from what Cos and you guys were saying before about Liverpool fans being on board, when Klopp came on board, they were still sort of angry at Rodgers, and they weren't sort of coming to the games. And Klopp was. He actually brought the fans back on board because they weren't supporting them in those tough moments. There was a game where they were losing, or the other team equalised late in the game, and then people were leaving early and stuff like that. And Klopp said, "I've never felt so alone," something like that, putting a bit of pressure on the fans to do their bit. You know what I mean? Mm. And then they started to all right, we'll do our bit, we'll do it, and then it progressed from there. It got better and better and better. And I don't know if you remember, Ozzie, the West Brom game where they came back from something. They drew 2-2 in the end, and then they held hands in a line, and they sort of acknowledged the crowd, and everyone was laughing at Liverpool, saying, bro, you just drew 2-2 against West Brom. Why are you celebrating?" But it was Klopp acknowledging the fans. Apparently, it's a German tradition, but it was this. It was a gesture to the fans, bringing them in, and as you can see. Anfield, Liverpool haven't lost for 2.5 years, I think it is, at Anfield.
Yeah,
that's incredible.
In any competition.
It's incredible. They're just on this massive, huge
in any
run
competition.
at Anfield.
So
they haven't lost in the Premier League. What is it now? 30 matches or something? They haven't lost?
Yeah, something. They only lost one game in
the last game they lost was to Manchester City last season.
Yeah.
That's the last
at
game.
Manchester City.
Yeah.
Oh, that was at
So at Anfield, I can't even remember the last time they lost.
So they lost one game in the last 50 games or something like that.
At Anfield, yeah.
Have they lost
anywhere.
this season yet?
Oh, anywhere.
In the league. No, this season they haven't lost anything. They just drew at Old Trafford. That's it.
And how many games are there?
That's 14 or 15. This will be the 15th game.
14 games in
Tomorrow
the league.
will be the 15th.
They've lost in the Champions League, but who cares?
But they couldn't.
That was
be
Napoli.
untouchable.
And Napoli also took points off them, but other than that, they've been basically. Well,
they've been impeccable, really.
Well, the cup competitions, they're sort of a bit more loose.
Well, they don't play their first team before it starts, and they still beat Arsenal. So.
But yeah,
who do they have playing that that Dutch bloke that from Chile?
The Dutch bloke,
Put him up front.
No, he's the heart of the defence, which is why they shipped 5 goals. But you compare those teams and stuff like that. I thought it would be interesting to. I mean, this is dragged out a bit, but I think it would be just interesting to sort of have a look at what is the way. I mean, with all these teams with these manager problems at the moment, because every team's expecting to do more than is possible in the Premier League. It's a game of musical chairs where there are 6 less chairs than there are people. There's just not enough spots for everyone to be happy. There were 6 teams fighting for the top 4. Now there's 7.
With Leicester coming in.
With Leicester coming in. So 3 teams are already going to be, the managers are looking at the sack. Just straight off the bat. And funnily enough, 2 of the people that are in the top 4 right now, the managers have no pressure to make the top 4. Leicester and Chelsea, because Chelsea has that transfer ban. Leicester, just no pressure on them at all. Relegation, obviously, there's 3 spots there, and yet there's just so many teams that could be relegated, but nobody is allowed to get relegated. The teams that got promoted got Sheffield up in 6th or 7th at the moment.
Yeah, they've been incredible.
Ridiculous. Aston Villa looking like a Premier League club again.
Yeah,
up sort of lower mid-table. Norwich.
Well, Norwich are getting their players back.
Yeah, Norwich are getting their players, and they're getting results.
There's going to be a battle for that relegation.
Well, they won against Everton, and they drew to Arsenal.
Yeah, there's going to be a battle for relegation. I mean, Watford's going down, but the rest, I don't know.
Yeah, Watford's played the sack manager card twice already.
Yeah, they're gone.
But
if they pick up a 3rd card in the deck, I'm just going to be amazed.
But that's how they've been doing things.
Yeah.
But so how do you pick the time to sack a manager, though?
How do you pick a time to sack a manager?
There's no good time. There's just no good time. It's like when someone asks, "What's a good time to break up?" There's no good time. You just got to do it.
Okay, I'll rephrase the question. What time at what point does the manager need to be sacked, and how do you make that decision? Because I mean,
there's a number of every club would have their own situation, their own different circumstances. Some clubs are obviously trying to avoid relegation. Others are trying to make Europe. There's a lot of money involved if you
7 teams trying to make the Champions League.
Yeah, in that sort of sense. I think a key indicator is if the manager has lost the players, lost the respect of the players.
Yeah.
That's a huge impact there, because if the players aren't playing for him, then the results are not going to improve. Therefore, he has to go.
That's basically what's happened at United, the last 5 managers.
Ole seems to have the players on board.
Other times, I think that's probably when to do it. Other times, it could be a situation where the players love the manager, but the manager's proving not good enough. In a legitimate sense that,
again, what does that mean? What does not good enough mean? How good is good enough,
Well, in a number of ways. Tactically, you may not be there. Setting your team up on game day.
That's a funny thing.
In training.
That's the funny thing you say, though, tactically. I just wanted to point out, because if somebody knows if a manager's tactically inept, then
why don't they take the spot?
Exactly. Why don't they just manage? Because you know what I mean.
True.
Tactics really that's why the manager is one of the main things for the manager to do.
I think the way to interpret that is to if they have technically a really gifted team, and then the manager's not able to do as much with it.
Not getting the most out of their players.
Even that, just the manager's style of play does not suit the team. and then he's not adapting to the team, and the team can't adapt to his style, and therefore, in that sense, he may not have lost the players. The players may love him, but then he's just not the right fit for that team.
All right,
that's probably what I should have said.
How's this for a blanket reason?
So in that sense, you have to sack the manager because it's just not going to
get the results. So
it's not always about losing the players.
Well, how's this for I thought like a blanket reason for sacking a manager, right? If for me, this is the ultimate thing, and this goes across every situation of any manager, no matter how high or low the ambitions. When you know that the manager will never get the team to where you want them to be. But I do want to wrap this up. I wanted to look ahead quickly to tomorrow morning's fixtures. Not in great detail because by the time this goes up, these fixtures will have been played. But Leicester does play Watford to move again 3 points clear of Manchester City, which is insane what they're doing. But the big game, Manchester United against Tottenham.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of theatre in that one.
Well, Mourinho's
return.
Exactly.
I want Mourinho to lose.
Well, I mean,
so chocolatey.
They are away from home. Will it be another 3-2 victory?
It could.
Bloody knows.
It could. Who knows? We don't know.
I mean, predictions. Anyone going to stick their neck out for this one? I don't want to, but I'll do it.
It's a draw.
You reckon draw?
I reckon a win for United with a VAR decision.
The Joker coming in, just
like they disallowed the goal. Just how Leicester won against
Yeah. It was a last minute goal.
They flagged for offside, and then he wasn't offside.
Was it flagged for offside or for a handball?
Offside. It was offside.
It was something, and then they disallowed it, and then they VAR'd it and allowed it, and then they were celebrating like they won the league. I want that to happen.
I still think Tottenham score a goal, right, to win the game in the 93rd minute, but it gets pulled back because there was a foul in the box down the other end, and it's a penalty.
That's good.
And of course,
then United win. Oh, that's true. I like that.
And Manchester United win as well. It's a double win for you guys. So, so I don't know what's going to happen, but like anything could happen in that game. Really, anything, because Mourinho is such a question mark right now with the games, the conceding and scoring for fun. Manchester United still solid at home. I think that if it wasn't Mourinho at Tottenham, I would back United to win this, just because United have been solid at the back and Tottenham are shaky at the back.
Tottenham could win because Mourinho knows the players.
Exactly. So Mourinho could. So it's very
lazy, which is everyone.
It's hard to say. The other big-ish game is the Merseyside derby, Liverpool against Everton. It's a bit smaller because Everton's doing so terribly, but as always,
they live for these games.
There's something more in these games, yeah.
I reckon 3-1 for Liverpool.
Well, Everton hasn't won at Anfield for a long time, and they pretty much lose
based
every time
on
they go
Liverpool's
there.
recent trend of not losing at Anfield, they're not going to win.
Yeah.
So this is whether they draw the game.
But don't bet your house on it. Please don't bet your house on it. I've seen people do this, and the trend stops, and they lose their house. Don't do it. Liverpool playing against Everton. I'm backing Liverpool to win as well, but I don't think it's going to be easy by any stretch of the imagination, especially with Liverpool being a bit fatigued.
And that's going to be a problem.
Missing Alisson in goal. It'll just make things a little bit difficult. It'll be another 2-1 to Liverpool.
2-1?
2-1.
Yeah.
Because they've had I think 5 2-1 results in the last 7 games.
Can we just get a 1-0? I
1-0.
like them on 1-0.
Liverpool can't get a clean sheet. Look, I know you want the fantasy points, but look, it's not going to happen, okay?
Just want 1-0.
So,
1-0 with the Van Dijk header. It's beautiful.
or 2.
I had a good this week.
Yeah, but no clean sheet. They should have taken Van Dijk off before they conceded. Anyway, but thank you guys for coming down. It's been great to have you down, Ozzie. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Oz.
Making your debut on the show.
Thanks for having me, guys. I'm your number one fan. I've been listening.
And we appreciate
you and Abdul, and
I think the number one fan was on last week. Yeah.
Oh,
Gosha was on last week. So
really? I've got to listen to that.
I haven't actually put it up yet. So. A bit slow on that, so I'll hopefully have this up to soonish too. So thank you, Cos, as well.
No problem.
Although I really shouldn't be thanking you because this is our thing, but anyway.
Yeah, you better thank me.
But the biggest thank goes to anyone who is listening, which will be Ozzie in the future. Thank you for listening up to this point. Please subscribe to our podcast if you haven't done so, and check out our YouTube channel, which is on YouTube. Look up Cosmic Commentary. You can't miss it. But thank you once again, everyone, and we'll speak to you next time a podcast comes out. Thank you.
Thanks.